Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists of the Roses Redux, the BooKoo challenge run. So I'm actually recording this episode shortly after the first episode has aired. So you guys would have just seen the first episode. So right off the bat, thank you very much to everyone for the support on that episode. It really means so much to me. It was like a little bit of a sort of mini explosion when the episode went out, at least for me. Like, I know it's not much for a lot of people, but it was a lot of views, it was a lot of feedback on the episode, so I really appreciate it, and it really got my mind working on what we want to do with this deck, for this BooKoo challenge run. So I think that what I've settled on is that we are definitely going to build the deck around using Spirit of the Books. So by doing that, we are able to keep BooKoo as the center of attention with the deck, with the build. So I think if we go for Spirit of the Books, he is fusible as well. So by fusing BooKoo with a Winged Beast, we can then generate more Spirit of the Books, and then I would like to get some Spirit of the Books to add into the deck itself. So we can sort of turbo that. The only thing that I'm not 100% certain on is that I feel that we can go one of two ways with this. So either we can go full Winged Beast and have BooKoo, included in that, but then have a Winged Beast deck leader for the movement boost. And then I believe that they get a decreased summoning cost as well. So we can then summon Spirit of the Books for cheaper, using that Winged Beast fusion material. Or we can do a hybrid deck, which I think could be pretty fun as well. So then basically Spirit of the Books is our Winged Beast that we then rely on. He then gets powered up by BooKoo, and we then use Spellcasters in the deck as well and have a Spellcaster type deck leader. So that then gives us two types to run with. So we've got Spirit of the Books. His power-ups come from BooKoo, and he can then obviously generate BooKoos himself as well. So we don't have to worry about powering him up with Winged Beast equips or anything like that. And we can then go with Spellcasters and use Spellcaster type equip cards, and then have a Spellcaster deck leader of, I'm thinking, 5 stars or above, so that we can then get the full 500 boost from the Spellcaster deck leader, if that makes sense. Because by running BooKoo, he's a cool deck leader, but with him only being 2 stars, we would then only get a 200 point boost. And then he does change terrain, but that's then going to change terrain behind us if we're advancing forward, and that's not really going to help us because we're not going to battle on that terrain anyway. So I think that I'm leaning towards the Spellcaster and Spirit of the Books hybrid, but you guys can let me know. Let me know which one you would prefer to see. I just think that would give us more options. We can then have 2 types on the field, so it gives us different matchups on different terrain. And Spirit of the Books is going to probably get a lot of boost from BooKoo in any case, that he doesn't really need support from equip cards with regards to that. But yeah, I think it could be pretty fun to do it that way with a bit of a hybrid and do something a little bit different with the deck. But you guys let me know in the comments. I'm of course going to read that. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate everyone who has commented. You're all the best, and I appreciate you so much. So yeah, let me know your ideas in the comments, and I'm going to head straight into our battle with Tristan. So this could be extremely challenging. We know that Tristan is very, very powerful as well. So we'll see. Win or loss, it's a learning experience. It brings us one step closer towards a reincarnation, which is obviously what we would hope for. It's what would be ideal. We want to get Spirit of the Books into the deck as quickly as possible, and if we can get past Tristan, we're then able to go to Mai and then start to farm some Winged Beasts so that we can start to create Spirit of the Books in the deck already. So what we do have available to us currently, we've got a Celtic Guardian. So not too much that we can actually use against this guy. So I mean, at this point, let's just drop down a Muya and Curry. We can use that to bait one of his monsters out. Like, I know it's going to give us a life point boost, but At this point, I think it's used better as a bait card. So I think that what he's pulled back over there is an acid trap hole. So I believe that this AI will always, if they have an acid trap hole, they'll always play it there and move it back to that spot, if I understand that correctly. So he's got no monsters available just yet. I would actually be interested to see if we're able to summon Mystical Elf now that we have Celtic Guardian. So maybe I will use this Petite Angel and fuse it with Celtic Guardian, and I just want to see... Okay, so it doesn't. So Celtic Guardian will only fuse or count as the elf in the fusion for Dark Elf, I believe. So just skip our turn. Okay, so whatever that is has been power increased. It is potentially a strong warrior monster because he would have had 7 summoning stars prior to that. So, okay, so we have got BooKoo, so we will be able to create a... So this is for spellcasters other than Dark. So, Yes, we can either go Dark Elf, or we can actually just go Mystical Sand. So yeah, so let's just move Muyan Curry in here. Yeah, that's going to flip up. Forgot about his leader ability. Okay, well, I guess we activate Muyan Curry. I'd actually forgotten about his leader ability. So, extended support range, increased strength, so open opponent's card and weaken specific enemy type. Okay, so we can either create ourselves a Dark Elf, but I think I'd rather wait until we have a power-up that we can use on Dark Elf. We can actually just move Celtic Guardian to the side over here, and then go with Lamoon and pop her in defense. And then hopefully whatever that is in front of us is not going to be strong enough to get through that. So let's see what we're up against. It might be a case of losing a few times against Tristan. Okay, so that's an Axe Raider. It's not going to be powerful enough to get through Lamoon, which is all good. So we're going to create a bit of a wall, you know, so he can't really get through us at this point in time. Okay, so again, we have Fissure. It's completely useless at this point. So we can actually just throw that out, to be honest. Then we've got a Curtain of the Dark Ones. We're going to have to get rid of some of the stuff that we have in our hand. We can actually create... So yeah, so let's do this. Let's move our BooKoo across to here. White Magical Hat is not going to help us out. So we can then just fuse... Whoop. Okay, block attack. It's fine, that is what it is. We can then just move him across to here. And we can then create ourselves Dark Elf. Because if we can power up Dark Elf with our... I forget the name of the spell book that will power Dark Elf up. We can then hopefully bait his Axe Raider into attacking. And then basically get rid of that because he would then have only 2,200 attack on the drawbridge. We do also have a Curse Breaker, but I feel like we should maybe save that Curse Breaker for if he gets something, you know, really powerful. So yeah, we'll play it like this. I think we're going to have to play the long game with Tristan. Okay, so Mindless Radiance. Now, I have been wondering about this. Would we be able to make, if we had... So Mindless Radiant, the only fusion that I can find with him that could actually work for us is, I believe, Beast and Female. Now, if we create a Beast and Female, that would then... that should then make us a Nekogal. Is that right? We don't really have any weak females because Mystical Sand, like, it's not going to help us to create that now. But yeah, it will be interesting to see. I think that is a fusion that we can do. So yeah, let's just move this Curse Breaker back. We'll move our BooKoo back to a bit more of a central position. We can get rid of this Mindless Radiance, and then we'll throw out Mindless Radiance, get rid of Ancient Sorcerer, and just have Mystical Sand here as a bit of a backup. So yeah, so at this point I think because he has his Axe Raider in front of all his other cards, he's not going to actually attack in on Lamoon. So yeah. Whoops. Okay, so Call of the Haunted. I don't think we want to make any of our monsters into zombies, to be honest. Oh, so actually Aldine being a female, we could have tested our my Neko theory, but it is what it is. They're really not drawing what I was hoping we would draw, so we'll throw out Call of the Haunted. Yeah, let's just throw out a bunch of these cards. Unfortunately, that's the issue with the deck at the moment, is that we're gonna have to just toss out a bunch of cards in order for us to be able to get to the cards that we actually need, or the cards that we actually want. Okay, cool. So we've got our black pendants, so we can strengthen our Dark Elf. So let's do that. Cool, so I think we'll just stay just like that for now. Okay, so he's completely set up, so he's not really going to summon anything right now. So what we can do is we can just we'll move our Dark Elf here, move Lamoon down, and then possibly we'll just pop down just something to basically stop this guy from destroying our Lamoon. So we can go, I mean, I guess Mech Mole Zombie, but it might be more beneficial for us to turn a different one of his monsters into a zombie. So let's maybe just drop down BooKoo in defense mode. He can then attack in on us, and then hopefully he'll attack in on Dark Elf come the next turn. Yeah, so we'll just do that for now. Alright, so BooKoo is sacrificed. It's all for a good cause. Yes, he's going to take his time to, press down on all of his cards. Okay, so we have Invisible Wire in case we do need it later on. So yeah, so we can actually just... what do we want to summon out of this hand? Okay, let's just move our BooKoo down here for now. Move Lamoon across. We'll have our Dark Elf ready to take the Axe Raider out. And then I guess we use Red Medicine just in case. We may as well. And then I think that we'll hold on to Invisible Wire, because chances are that this guy is going to summon a Blackluster Soldier at some point. So if we can then use Invisible Wire, lure it out of the meadow, we're then able to get rid of Blackluster Soldier. So yeah, that's Axe Raider done. So we're basically going to want to lure this guy onto the drawbridge. So I guess we just leave our Dark Elf here to basically strike anything that we lure onto the drawbridge. So So I guess that we'll pop down a Mystical Sand. We'll leave that in attack. We'll just assume that we're going to be able to beat whatever that is. And yeah, I guess we do that for now. Let's bring our Mystical Sand back here. I mean, maybe we reshuffle here so that we're able to bring Cursebreaker a little closer to the front. Yeah, let's do that, I guess. Actually, I've just realized a Call of the Haunted could have actually been fairly useful, because then our spellcasters wouldn't have lost their boost on Meadow. So it could have been fairly useful to do that, but oh well. Okay, so Mystical Sand not strong enough to take on Gaia. But our Dark Elf will be able to take that on. Okay, never mind. So Shield and Sword. That really throws a spanner in the works now. Okay, so that's made Dark Elf not all that useful. It's going to be a decent wall if we need it. But it does mean that we're going to have to bring Lamoon forward. Yeah, that's screwed us over a little. Okay, so what do we have in our hand? Yeah, that's a bit of an issue, but it's fine. So we'll just move our Lamoon forward. Like I said, we're going to probably want to bring our Cursebreaker across. You see, I'd rather do some damage to him, but I also don't know if we should... Maybe we should just get rid of this guy while we're able to. We can possibly just drop one of these useless monsters in defense. Maybe we'll just put Lucky Trinkets into defense mode. He can attack in on that. And we can then take him out with Lamoon come the next turn. So yeah, Shield and Sword has thrown a spanner in the works on our Dark Elf, unfortunately. So yeah, it's all going to be about taking him on this drawbridge. It might end up being a fairly long duel, I guess. So yeah, so we'll take out Gaia with Lamoon. Hopefully we can draw whatever he has in front of us onto the drawbridge and see what they have. So we do have Copycat. So we can actually, whenever we're ready, so Copycat will let us take any spell card from his graveyard, correct? So select, revive, and control one spell card from the enemy's graveyard. So that means that we can take his... so what do we have available? So Kunai with Chain will not help us. Electro Whip can help Dark Elf. It can actually help Lamoon currently as well. So it can give us a 2700 Lamoon. We can also... We can also get Shield and Sword again and swap these values back. But I think that it's possibly better for us to rather, because Lamoon now has 2200 attack, if we then use an Electro Whip on her, that's going to put it to 2700, which will be pretty useful. So I think maybe we do that. So let's summon... We'll go Copycat. We will then take Electro Whip. And then on the next turn we will strengthen our Lamoon with that Electro Whip. So I think that's probably a good play. Now I've just got to hope that whatever he has there... Yeah, so I'm guessing that what he has there is a Judgeman. And because Judgeman has 2200, he won't attack directly out into Lamoon. Because Judgeman would then die, I'm thinking. So that's why he's kept it in attack. He's not going to put it into defense. So we can then move Lamoon back. strengthen up with Electro Whip and then bait this guy out with a different card. So, I mean, at this point we can just drop anything down. We can just throw down Saggy in defense. And then let's hope that whatever that is will come and attack out. Okay, so it's an Invader of the Throne, not a Judge Man, but same Judge Man attack. I mean, it does feel like we're spamming his AI a little bit, but I mean, we kind of have to with this BooKoo deck. We have a Final Flame that we can use also just to entice an attack out without having to use a monster. So yeah, so we'll take out Invader of the Throne with Lamoon. Lamoon is actually becoming a real MVP here, and if anything, might actually become our new deck leader at this rate. Because she's doing such a good job of attacking these monster cards, I basically would assume that... Okay, so we'll just pop down Final Flame here. I assume that she's going to get some levels, and she might be worth setting as a Spellcaster deck leader for now because she is 5 stars. So we would get the maximum Spellcaster boost once she reaches that level. You know, for same type friendlies. Okay, so whatever this is, I assume is a trap card because he's not moving that ahead into Final Flame. So we do have Mystic Lamp, so we would be able to make Lord of Lamp, and then from there we can fuse that into Legion, but it's not really going to be all that beneficial to us, I guess, unless we keep a Mystic Lamp, because I don't remember if we have multiple Mystic Lamps in this deck, because if we have 2 we can then make a fairly strong Lord of the Lamp, but it also then is only as strong as Mystical Sand, basically. So it's probably better to just use him as a fusion material with Celtic Guardian, or just as bait, basically, for any monsters that are attacking in on us. So for now, we'll just wait. We'll wait for him to attack into us, because I'm assuming that with one of these attack position cards on the top left and right of his area, he's gonna... Okay, so there's a power increased card. Okay, so he is gonna attack in. Okay, cool. So Empress Judge. Empress Judge is going to take some, like, a good amount of damage from our Lamoon. So we're looking at a 1,000 life point swing here. So yeah, so we'll go Lamoon, take out Empress Judge. And then I don't think we summon anything just yet, because on the next turn we want to bring Lamoon back and then summon to bait out another attack into our cards. So, I mean, for now, I guess we just put Mystical Sand face up to gain some more, to gain some levels, I guess. We'll put this BooKoo face up too. Dark Elf is also just kind of chilling here, getting some experience. It's a shame that that's only a 4-star Spellcaster, because she would be a cool deck leader. So yeah, we'll just chill here on the spot. So yeah, so because Lamoon is standing in that frontward normal spot, he's not going to attack it on that. So we're going to have to entice him again. So yeah, so we'll just pop in, I guess, just Mystic Lamp in defense. And then just let him do his thing. So yeah, immediately he's starting to move monsters forward again. Okay, yeah, so 1,150 attack Axe Raider. It's going to be a ton of damage for our Lamoon again. Creature swap. Okay, so that's... Okay, that's really just thrown everything completely wacky now. Wow. Okay, so Lamoon should still be able to attack in on Axe Raider, I believe. So, okay, yeah, so we're going to have to get the lay of the land here. So I'm going to need to move our deck leader across to here so that we can deal with whatever this is. Lamoon should be able to attack in on Axe Raider and leave that area. Yeah, so that then blocks the drawbridge, which is fine. So we do have Mystical Sand here who can bear down on his deck leader. I don't know what this is. Let's see what we have that we can summon. Not very much. So we do have Mystical Sand. I think that the best thing that we can do right now is move our deck leader to here. Drop down Mystical Sand and attack into whatever this is. Okay, which is going to trigger Acid Trap Hole. Okay, so Dark Elf is here in defense. These guys are cool over here. I guess that Mystical Sand we just put... I think we play this defensively because we don't want to get a massive hit to our life points. So we'll just play like this for now. He's not going to have movement boost because he's on water, so our deck leader is safe. Okay, so whatever that is, he is going to bear down on us. So let's just move our BooKoo down. So we can make ourselves a Dark Witch. So maybe we go for that. So I believe Witch's Apprentice and Shining Friendship should make a Dark Witch. So we'll just leave this in attack mode. We'll then be able to see what this monster is and hopefully take that out. I'm wondering if we try and attack it on him with Mystical Sand. I mean, maybe we do. We just make his deck leader panic a bit. We've got a few... we've got a few life points that we can play with. So let's try that. Okay, cool. So M Warrior number 1, Dark Witch is going to deal with that quite handily. Okay, so we need to do another 250 life points worth of damage to this guy. So... okay, so the issue now is that he is weakening our Lamoon. We do have Magical Labyrinth. And we could just trap him inside there if we really wanted to. So I guess what we do is... so because he increases strength of same type friendlies... okay, so I want to hit him with one of our zombie cards. Let's pull the moon back. If we can then summon Mechmole Zombie, turn one of his monsters into a zombie on the drawbridge, he's not going to gain that bonus even though he has moved his deck leader forward. So let's just move our Mystical Sand around in his area. Just sort of make him... just make him do some movement. Maybe try and force him out. Okay, so Mystical Sand is done for. I did figure that that was going to happen, but either way, rather make his deck leader move and not be in its most comfortable position. Okay, so stop defense. That's not really going to make any difference at this point. So yes, let's just move. Are you kidding me? Okay, that's fine. So I guess we just move these further across. Yeah, so then drop Mechmole Zombie in defense. Oh, shit. Okay, I forgot that he is closer now. Okay, that's fine. We'll just drop Mechmole Zombie in defense anyway. Hopefully he's still going to attack in on that. Okay, cool. So he is going to attack in on that. So Carbonella Warrior is going to lose its attack boost. Oh no, it's a flip effect, isn't it? So it's not going to lose its attack boost. Damn it. Okay, well, what do we have currently that we can summon? Okay, cool. So we can create a Dark Elf, which would then be able to take out Carbonella Warrior, because we don't want Carbonella Warrior to go into... yeah, we don't want Carbonella Warrior to go into defense mode. We want to make the most of the damage that we can put out. So let's create Dark Elf. We can then attack in on Carbonella Warrior. Oh no, we can't, because that's going to then weaken us. So we're going to have to leave our Dark Elf in attack. Keep our Lamoon just here, so that when Carbonella Warrior attacks in, it will destroy itself. We can then summon a different monster to move to there. Move Lamoon across to then deliver the finishing blow. Because we're going to now do 200... Oh no, but... Or is he going to be out of his range now? So it's actually going to do more than 200 damage, so we should win the duel. Yep, there we go. So 500 points of damage. And the duel is ours. Beautiful. Copycat coming in real handy again for that Lamoon boost. So that's the second time that we've just stolen an equip from the enemy. So cool, Lamoon has been promoted, Dark Elf has been promoted. Perhaps we make Lamoon our deck leader. So from what we have here... stop attack, or whatever it's called, is going to be decent for reincarnating for equip cards later on. So that is always a decent option to go for. So maybe I go for that right now. Okay, well, we missed that. I was concentrating so hard too. Okay, and we get Sword and Shield. And then... and we missed it as well. So Shield and Sword, Axe Raider, and a Protector of the Throne. So, yeah, not great. There wasn't really too much that would complement our deck in any case. That would have just been nice for the reincarnations, but we are going to reincarnate for Spirit of the Books first in any case. Cool. So that is a victory against Tristan. And that makes me extremely, extremely happy. So we're going to drop a save immediately and possibly, like I say, put Lamoon down as a... Put Lamoon into our deck as a deck leader. So yeah, so we will remove BooKoo. And then I think we'll actually have to take a Lamoon out of our deck because we only have 3. So yeah, make her a deck leader. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly... Yeah, I can just quickly go and get a... Just pop anything into the deck for now. I'm going to get us another Lamoon. But I'll do that off camera. Get us another Lamoon so we can pop that into the deck. And that is now going to be our current deck leader. We can, of course, swap her out for a different deck leader. But yeah, I think that is going to be it for today's episode. That was a lot of fun. We're doing a decent job, at least. I know that these are still the early guys, it's the early deck leaders. We were able to cheese Tristan into doing what we wanted. And that does, of course, open up where we can really start to build up our deck into what we want it to be. So as soon as we get some decent winged beast cards, we can then pop those into our deck. And then start to fuse, as opposed to fusing for Dark Elf, we can start to fuse for Spirit of the Books, which is going to be strengthened up hugely by BooKoo, and then that's going to bring us closer to being able to reincarnate to put Spirit of the Books into our deck as well. So I'm really excited to try this build. I think it's going to be awesome. Like I said, please let me know in the comments down below if you'd prefer us to go for a Winged Beast build or for this hybrid Spellcaster and Spirit of the Books build instead, which I think both could be really fun, but at the moment I am leaning towards the Spellcaster side, so that we have, you know, alternate options for 2 different terrains as well. We can then function on Yami as well as functioning on Mountain. It's exciting. It's really exciting. And yeah, awesome playthrough so far. Thank you everyone for watching. Please, if you are not subscribed yet, please leave a subscribe. If you are enjoying the series, I'd really appreciate it. It'll help us to grow the channel. And leave any comments you want below. Leave a like on the video if you want to see more. I appreciate you guys so much, and until next time, bye for now.